12:01 on a Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Okay. Dusty and Tommy Gazzola with you. The morning after, or the lunch hour after the EST Golf Classic.
Woo!
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
It's not hangover, it's just very tired.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not a headache. It's not, I'm physically exhausted.
Yes.
After golfing for 6 hours in 30 degrees yesterday.
Yeah.
And having some beverages along the way. But, like, it's not like, oh, my stomach's sore. Oh, I feel like I'm going to get sick. No, it's just straight up, I'm physically exhausted today. And how about this? All I want in the world right now is to go home and have a nap in my air-conditioned basement.
Yes.
That's it. I usually would go home right now after yesterday, crush like a 4-hour nap. But family's in town.
Yep.
They're all at Galaxyland or Fantasyland or Galaxyland at the mall.
Excellent.
So I have to go straight over to the mall after this. Hang out at the mall for like 3 hours this afternoon. That's my life.
Get some water. Good.
Oh, yeah. This is like my 4th water bottle today.
Yeah, no,
I'm extremely hydrated today. It's great.
Me too. Have fun.
Oh, yeah, I will, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get to drive Dave Pagnotta back to the airport.
Ugh. Man, put that guy in a car.
He's my guest. He had a great time at the tournament.
He had a great time at the tournament.
He missed his flight last night.
Now, I have to ask this.
Uh-huh.
You come here to take part in our tournament.
Uh-huh.
Why would you book a flight out day of tournament? Makes no sense to me. I mean, this is more of a Dave problem than a you problem, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But he had a great time. He's the one who booked the flights, and he chose to come in the night of Monday.
Yeah.
And then wanted to leave last night. He wanted to be in and out. The water went down again in our building while he was here.
Where do you and Maddie live? In some
right across the street from the arena.
Some hole downtown?
It's like a 6 or 7 year old tower. It's nice.
Why does the water keep going out?
It needed to be. They fixed it. It went out again. Whatever fix they used didn't hold.
I was going to say, sounds like they didn't fix it.
Well, it didn't. And then they worked overnight and they got it done. But so it was hot. There was no AC. And then we have a great time at the golf tournament. I got to drive him to the airport. He misses his flight last night. Lots of things happened yesterday that were just really fun and really good. I had to call it a night at like 9:30. I had to walk home. I was with Jay Milne, Belzy, Dave, Jasmine, and I ran into a bunch of other people that I know at local. We're at local for a bit,
and
I was just like, I need to go, and I just left.
I'm going to say this in the most polite of ways. You probably should have gone to bed at like 4 o'clock. I can't believe you even lasted to 9:30.
What? Like, I was fine. I was just tired. What?
You were not fine yesterday.
How? Describe.
You were in rough shape. I'll just say this. You were extremely emotional yesterday afternoon.
Because it was good.
Yeah, I know. But it was like, I think I got to put Tommy to bed. I think
you didn't.
I know.
Took me to the casino.
I did do that. But I should have put you to bed. I can't believe you ended up staying out till 9:30.
At the course or when we were at
the course. Like before we went to the casino, I was like, I think probably get Tommy home right now.
What?
Oh yeah.
I felt good.
you were a beauty. You're absolutely in a zone. You're in a zone, but
thanks for all the drinks. That's what happens. We have a great time. It kind of feels like a relief. Happy tears. And you saying you're going to put me to bed.
As a friend. Let's see here. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Bury the cheaters in. Guys, another amazing lunch. Advertising pays. Guess where he went for lunch? Italian Center Shop. Got himself a couple of mild paninos. Not a bad idea as well. That's pretty good. All right, if you're watching over on YouTube today, you can hammer the thumbs up. If you have any questions about the Edmonton Oilers, feel free to chime in. Cash is saying, did you win any money at the casino? No, but Glue Guy did.
Did he?
Once again, that's one of the reasons you could have gone home. Glue Guy won, and he actually won enough to like pay for all the meals we had. Like our whole tab of the casino was picked up on Glue Guy roulette winnings.
Wow.
Yeah, not bad actually.
We ate there?
I ate there.
You did.
Yeah. It was a small crew of us that made it to the casino, but I wanted to watch Canada Argentina, right? So it was on.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
They lost.
But yeah, Glue Guy did well. So we all ate for free. Shout out to Jay. What's he say? Was it the clicks? Jay likes the clicks. Yeah. The Oil Stream today and every day brought to you by our partners over at Boston Pizza. Shout out Boston Pizza for being at the golf tournament yesterday.
Delicious.
Did you go by the hole when Tara was there?
I did not see Tara, no.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of the later holes for us. But I had a nice slice. I think I had barbecue chicken. It was great. I heard Maddie and my mom were driving around delivering pizza to
They were
those
for
that missed
people
it.
that because the pizza came at 9:30. So anybody who went past the Boston Pizza hole before 9:30 wouldn't have got any. So Maddie and your mom delivered pizza to everybody else. It was pretty impressive.
Love that.
I got the Meteor,
Yeah.
which is my favorite. I
Yeah.
love the sausage on that damn Meteor pizza at Boston Pizza. Absolutely delicious.
It was great.
But yeah, Tara was there. She's our contact at BP's, and she was pretty fired up. She thought they were having a good time, and I love the little like warming ovens that they had there. It was cool. Yeah. Pizza was coming out nice and warm. Cheese was melty. It was a real good time. I did tell her we were talking about when our next live on location will be, and I said wherever it is. Tommy and I have already said it's a patio show.
Yes.
Hey, we're going next live on location for the Oil Stream of Boston Pizza patio show. And hopefully a few of you will be able to join us for not today, obviously. I don't want to go do a patio show today. No. Mind you, it's like, what do you think the temperature is in here right now?
I'm sweating. It's got to be like high 20s in here.
It's got to be like 28, 29 degrees in this office right now.
It's
insane. Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out to Jack at Pro-Am Sports. He's like, hey, Barry from Pro-Am was telling me that you guys are dealing with a little bit of an air conditioning issue right now.
Yes.
He says, if you want, you can come over and do all the shows from our boardroom for the rest of the week. Our AC is blaring right now.
I love that.
But Maddie and I are like, we're going to figure this out.
We will.
You know, whoever our landlord is should probably take care of this.
In-house solutions.
Yeah, because it's a little toasty in here today. This text is in at 780-218-9999. Guys, the best part of today's show is listening all the boys pushing forward. I feel the pain in Dusty's voice right now.
You are a trooper. Well done.
It's just like I said, I'm just tired, but the voice is tired. You know, talking to everybody all day yesterday.
Yeah.
Now I just have to make sure that I don't blow it out pre-CFL game Friday night. It'll come back. I'll get some sleep. It'll be fine. But yeah, tough one. You know, I used to lose my voice all the time. Like back at 1260, like early. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It would be like for a month. Dave Jameson was always like, what are you doing? You have to maintain your voice.
Was very
What's going on?
About that.
Yeah. Shout out to our radio dad. But you know what? I figured out what it was. It was playing rec league late at night and then, you know, being on the cold ice, yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
And doing that twice a week.
Yeah.
And staying up super late and then coming in the mornings. And once I stopped playing rec, haven't really had many issues with the voice.
Probably sleeping better.
Had to sleep better. You're not screaming with the cool, like it's.
You're not out late.
These are things you figure out as you grow up as an adult, right?
Minimizing the drinks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because usually after rec league, I'd sit in the parking lot till 2 having a couple beers. And then I sleep for like 1.5 hours. And within 2 weeks, my voice is gone.
Yeah.
So
that's
yeah. We'll see that. I was yelling a little bit. Do you remember on the mic after the event last night?
You were great, yeah.
Yeah, my wife, I get home, she goes, I see you're still yelling into the microphone. I was like, how dare you?
Damn.
Like, I know that the ranch sound system is much better now than it was 6-7 years ago.
No, it's
But I don't know if I was eating the mic a little bit or not. But.
No, you sounded fine. Also, the banquet portion of yesterday, I think that's where most of my beverages were consumed because there was shots, there was beers being brought in. Like I said, it was a relief. We were done. We got through the tournament. Maddie crushed it, absolutely. And it was just like, oh, you get it out. And I think that's where, and people were like, shots, here's this, and boom, boom, boom. I didn't even finish my meal. It was the food was great as usual. On top of all the fantastic food holes that we had. I think that's where it went from like a nice pace to
At the banquet.
yeah
Wow.
to 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think most of our damage was done on the course.
Oh, you guys had 7 bottles.
Seven
of birdie
bottles
booze?
of birdie booze. We take down one for every. Like our guys were the boys were going pretty hard.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
well
with
done.
Brelando, Normology, Grumpy Cat.
Normology was having a time.
Yeah, but we'd crack a birdie booze, and then there was 5 of us because I was on. There's 5-man team, and we wouldn't even have to like the birdie booze is just smooth. So it's just like it's not like you're like. It's like blah, 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 blah. Next one, like
Trace was. I think she had a lot of birdie booze.
Oh, yeah.
She was dishing it out on the birdie booze hole. But yeah, birdie booze. I had one birdie booze, then we played the flip cup, but then we got some fireball after.
Yeah,
and you go from birdie booze to fireball, and it's like, it hits you. And then Josh from Birch Bear.
Oh, he was in good shape last night.
Well, he hit me with that the bourbon. Sent over Jay Milne and I a shot of bourbon at the casino. Did not need that.
Okay, so quick story on that then, because Jay came back over to the where we were sitting watching the game.
Yeah.
At Tap 24, I think it's
the
called.
casino?
In the casino.
Okay.
And he orders a round of bourbon shots, and I was like, dude, I've already had like 6 waters.
Yeah.
I stopped drinking like 3 hours ago, but I took that shot, and God, that's gross. It's just gross. I don't know how people sip bourbon. I don't do it. What do you like? Does it eventually taste good, or are you just slowly punishing yourself? I couldn't do it.
Well, Scotch is good. Scotch is good.
Yeah. Sobkirk says, Oil Stream is just EST classic stories, and I'm here for it. Jay bought us the bourbon at the River Creek. Yeah, that was Jay. Yeah, Sobkirk did that shot with us, and it's just like, ugh. That was a tough one. But let me ask you this: who or what do you think was sweatier yesterday? Quinn Phillips, who we awarded the sweatiest person at the tournament award, or Big Uke's foot that was in a boot?
Oh my! And he was sweating too. Yeah, that boot probably does not smell good.
No, I mean that's a one-off. Like,
yeah.
That's it. Like when that goes back to the doctor's office, just tell them to throw it away.
Yeah, that's you're gonna need to disinfect it with many
I can't believe he played the entire tourney with his foot in a boot.
He's a champ. Like well done, Big Uke. Round of clicks to you for that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, buddy.
But man, oh man, just good times all around yesterday.
All right, let's see here. Duck Dad says, how kind of the Oilers to have done nothing over the last 2 days so EST can just celebrate and reflect on their golf tourney. Well, they've almost got everything done.
Yeah.
Everything that they need to do.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I wanted to get into on the show this morning, we didn't spend as much time on it as I wanted to, but we had Pig Noda in here. He was on Hello Hockey on Saturday as well.
Yes.
Talking about trying to upgrade the blue line by maybe moving CC or Kulak.
Yes.
If one of those guys goes out, and when we talk about upgrading the blue line, obviously somebody will be coming back. But I'm curious on your thoughts of if they're getting up to training camp time and they still need to shave off a couple mil because they get Broberg and Holloway done or whatever.
Yeah, which they need to still, obviously.
Can this team afford to move one of CC or Kulak and not bring a defenseman back? I don't think it gets there.
I mean, that's not
but
ideal.
I'm curious about it.
And I think we forget that they signed Josh Brown.
And Stetcher.
So they have bodies. So would you want a upgrade and better defenseman? Yes. And can you just, if you need to get under the cap and you fire off a trade where one of those two guys goes, you do have the two guys in Stetcher and Brown that are there. It's not ideal. I'll emphasize that, reiterate it. I agree with everyone. If you're going like, that's not good enough, that's not an upgrade, wholeheartedly agree. But so, no, you wouldn't have to, in theory, you wouldn't have to go and get another defenseman. You just
So you would look, basically, you'd look at it. Let's say CC gets moved.
Sure.
Somebody takes CC, veteran guy, red shot guy, decent salary. One of the reasons he's probably still here. So then you got Ekholm and Bouchard.
Yep.
Nurse and Broberg,
Yep.
Kulak, and a rotation, depending on maybe the matchup, of Brown and Stetcher.
Yeah.
Is that like that? With Broberg hopefully elevating, we don't have super high expectations for Brown outside of being like a physical presence back there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I would like to see more opportunity for Stetcher at some point, just to see if he can play regularly for a legitimate contender like this. Could that blue line be better if Broberg, like better than this last one they had, if Broberg takes a step?
That would be that's the key.
That's the key, right?
Also, we need to see if Bouchard has a good start to the season and injuries and all that. Like, Bouchard has this knack for starting out the year really slow. He's done it 3 years in a row. His game obviously gets much better as the season progresses, and then he's damn good in the playoffs. So that'll probably be something that we talk about and watch for in the early part of the season is where is Broberg? Is he taking a step? Is he the guy we saw in the playoffs? Looks like he's ready. I think that would be a relief for people. And then if that is the case and they move out a CC or a Kulak, hypothetically, like we're saying, I think you could say that the defense is a little bit better. But there's a couple of big ifs. It's A, the play of Broberg and his progression, and then B, like, what is Josh Brown and what kind of Troy Stetcher are you getting? So
Sobkirk says Adam Larson, wink. Man,
He's not coming back here.
He never come back, even on a trade at the deadline.
I'd like it, but I don't know. It was tough with how his dad passed away, and that left a.
There's always that memory here now.
Yeah, and that did affect him. It really. I don't.
But
really
my
want
God,
to go
would
into
he
it too
be a
much,
sick ad at the
He'd be awesome.
deadline as like
great guy too.
a second or third pair right shot?
Absolutely.
That'd be real nice. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And this is, so RCN chimes in. We got a bunch of text messages we'll get to. 780-218-9999. RCN says, it all depends on Broberg. If he can play with Nurse, then they can do without Cece. If Broberg can't play second pair right shot D, then they need an upgrade at 2RD, perhaps at the expense of both CC and Kulak. Either way, CC gone, deadline acquisition, if/when necessary. And I know that I think they're trying to do that right now. In a perfect world, they'd probably love to have their blue line locked in.
Yeah.
But as long as everybody's healthy up front, your real only focus at the deadline will be to go out and get a defenseman.
Yeah.
Right?
I would think
and
so.
if there's only the one job you have to do, you would hope that you maybe even move on it Tanev early. Not Tanev, but like how Dallas moved early on Tanev. Yeah.
No, I get that.
So move on it early and lock up that guy. Like lock up whoever the guy is come deadline time. So that's something you can look at. Now, we all sort of just assume that if Broberg takes a step, it's just Nurse and Broberg. It's Nurse and Broberg. It's Nurse and Broberg. Do you think that's locked in?
No.
Or could it get to a point where it's like Broberg and Ekholm and Nurse and Bouchard? Or
Nurse and
'cause
Bouchard
I'm trying to
hasn't
figure out
worked.
what else it would be if it's not Ekholm and Broberg. And I just feel like it just seems so obvious that those would be the two guys next year, unless you still ride CC alongside. Because they would mix in Desharnais with Nurse this year.
What is, I'm wondering about Stetcher. How much does he play? Where does he find the spot? Would he be a viable option to play alongside Nurse? I'm assuming the idea of it doesn't tickle a lot of people's fancy. Understandably so, but I'm just kind of curious. What would that pairing look like? Two veteran guys, one guy a little bit smaller, the other guy big, but not playing overly physical lately. They both skate well, generally move the puck well. Both have offensive capabilities, but would that be an ideal? How would they be together in their own zone? That might not be great. I'm just curious. I'm sure we might see it at some point.
I think it comes back around to the original conversation that we were starting to have is, do you need to have a defenseman come back in a CC Kulak trade? Even if it's not an upgrade, if you believe in Broberg, I don't know if you are confident with Brown or Stetcher as your Now, I guess at the deadline, like we said, they could upgrade on him anyway.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Can you get through 4.5, 5 months
Probably.
with Stetcher and or 3-4 months to the deadline with
would
Stetcher
assume
and Brown?
yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. If everybody
assume
stays
yes.
healthy. Probably could end up being the case. 780-218-9999. Amish Man 19 says, guys, I'm leery of Nurse and Bouchard myself, even as a big Bouchard guy. I mean, you know why you're leery of that is because Ekholm's a perfect defenseman to play with Bouchard.
Yes.
I mean, you don't really want to break up something that's perfect, but it is. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's good.
What an off season it has been.
Oh man, it's been if they pull off like a clear upgrade for CC, this would be. Yeah, I'm trying to think if it's an exaggeration, but I don't think it is. If they bring in a legitimate second pair right shot D that's a good fit alongside Darnell Nurse,
Yeah.
this is the perfect offseason. Like, what would be the flaw? Like,
I haven't seen or heard many complaints, if at all.
no, and you shouldn't. But like this would be, like I don't know what. So you have your sundae, and then you put a cherry on top. But what goes on top of that? Like this would be like a drizzle.
Yeah.
Them upgrading CC or Kulak for a legitimate second pairing right shot D man would be the strawberry or chocolate drizzle on Jeff Jackson's off-season Sunday, right on top of the cherry. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Sweet.
Waddy in Cloverdale is in. I live in Vancouver. I live in the Vancouver market, and I always thought Stetcher was decent. I was surprised when the Oilers acquired him that we didn't see him much. Did we acquire damaged goods? As much wasn't said about the injury until it was a surprise surgery. That's in from Waddy.
It sounds like, and from what I recall, that cyst on the ankle developed after he came over in the trade. From what I understand, and I think it was a athletic therapist message me and say it can happen where it develops.
How annoying are cysts?
I don't know. I obviously to the point where he needed the surgery, but so it just like develops and it forms and it gets in your ankle doesn't move properly or it's I don't know. That's a new one for me. I haven't heard of a cyst on an ankle, how it would come to be, but it did. It was a thing, and it held him out. But no, the getting damaged goods, from what I understand, that's not the case.
I was somewhat excited to see him play with the Oilers more.
I was curious.
Yeah.
Like, how does
this is a guy? This is a guy who plays regularly in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
Right? This is not a tweener.
Nope.
This is not a guy who plays 4 games in the American Hockey League every year, and you're like, oh, we'll see what they get from Stetcher. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's been a National Hockey League defenseman since 2016.
Correct.
So maybe that's the one that's kind of flying under the radar a little bit.
A bit
as
of a
far
wild
as
card.
like the blue line goes and how it all sorts itself out.
Bit of a wild card. Eden texting and says, hey, boys, this Oilers team reminds me a bit of the Pens that won several years ago with a no-name defense. The heart of the team was the forwards, but they had some sneaky good puck movers to get their forwards a puck. So, like, there's like Dumoulin, Olimata, obviously Letang was there.
Yeah, but he was hurt, wasn't he?
I'm trying to recall when they went back-to-back. That was what, 16, 17?
No, yeah, let's see here. Is he talking 16 or is he talking? Let's see.
Because I'm trying to remember. But that was kind of a topic, was they didn't have any real studs outside of Letang on the back end, and they made it work. And they had depth at forward, like Eden was talking about.
Yeah, weren't they saying like before that, the last team to win a cup without a stud was Carolina in 06 type of thing? Like,
yeah, because they had like Glenn Wesley, Aaron Ward, Frantisek Caberly. Yeah, that wasn't a sexy defense either. Like, yeah. So what do we have for 2016?
Well, I'm trying to look it up. Playoffs. Yeah. So this was the year Letang missed the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Did not play in the playoffs. This was the Penguins' blue. Justin Schultz.
Yes.
Ian Cole.
Oh, right.
Trevor Daley. Brian Dumoulin. Ole Matta, Ron Hainsey.
Right.
Josh Archibald was on that team.
Yeah, he was.
The Oilers' blue line right now is significantly better
I'd say.
than that Penguins blue line that won the Cup.
Yeah.
Significantly better. But they won the Cup, so I don't want to take away anything from the Trevor Daley. Did I say Trevor Daley?
Yeah, we said.
Trevor Daley.
And Daley was good for a little while. He was good for a little. Remember, he had a nice run for a few years. But
Yeah. He played some decent. He would have.
Yeah.
This would have been his little. Well, he was 32 at the time, so this would have been the tail end of Trevor Daley probably.
Right.
But that. So what did that team have that won them the Stanley Cup? Well, they had Sidney Crosby. They had Evgeny Malkin. Phil Kessel had a huge playoff that year. And then a blue line that was good enough to win a Stanley Cup.
And they bounced between the two goalies. It was.
Yeah, Matt Murray played 11 games and Fleury played 15.
Yeah.
A two-goalie system with a horrible blue line. Not horrible blue line, but not your typical championship blue line.
Yeah.
What an interesting conversation we've had today.
Oh.
I think the Oilers are going to win the Cup. In
They're a good
fact,
team.
so you probably wouldn't miss this morning, but the Sailor took my lineup that I dropped on Monday,
Ah, yes.
simulated it,
Yeah.
and Bouchard ended up leading the Oilers in points. Canucks won the division. The Oilers played the Ducks in the second round of the playoffs somehow. I don't know how the Ducks would be.
Incredible.
Whoever designed
Was this
the
NHL
guts,
24?
Yeah. Whoever designed the guts of NHL 24 clearly screwed up when the Ducks are making it to the second round of a simulated season. Anyway, beat them, beat Colorado Conference Final, played the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup Final, beat them in 5 games.
Wow. Interesting. And that was the lineup that you drew up that we went over.
Matt Savoy had 32 points.
What a hell of a season.
Injuries were turned off because everybody played a full 82.
Okay.
So, that's not too realistic.
No.
But still, it's nice to design and build rosters that can win a Stanley Cup. And that's what I've done. Put me in the mix for GM. Put me in the mix.
You'd be great.
Thanks, man.
You'd be great.
I have won 5 of the last 7 Juan Rincon Hockey League championships.
And you know what? You should apply.
Maybe I will. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I've got their whole staff up in front of me here. We're going to go through some of these guys if they're going to look for an in-house candidate at general manager. But 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Millwood's Madison with assist story.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Here we go. That's where this is going to go. 31 minutes left in the oil stream, and it's just going to be, hey, guys, I had assist once. Okay. I got assist right now. Millwood's Matt says, guys, I have one on the bottom of my right foot that I just live with. It's kind of annoying at times. I can't imagine it on my ankle. Man, why do you just live with it? Why don't you get rid of it?
Out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ugh.
This is a good one from Andrew today, too. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, it is the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us and sub to the channel as we work our way up towards 9,500 subs. That would be great. Andrew says, I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson, the wizard, he is, could get Broberg to somehow shoot right instead of left. That would solve any questions I have.
That's like Zach to come. Are we sure he's a righty at golf or is he a lefty? That was a good line you dropped earlier. He's gone.
I mean, is he gone?
Is he gone?
Zach, are you there?
No. Trev's here, though.
But at hockey, I think Zach's a lefty.
Yeah.
So if he can't right golf-handed, maybe he should, or golf right-handed. No, I was just wondering what hand he shoots a hockey stick with. Because we're debating whether or not he actually should golf right.
And Broberg could move and shoot right-handed is what somebody...
Because Jeff Jackson's a wizard.
Because he's a wizard.
Man. It totally makes sense to me.
Not impressed, Matthew.
Makes sense to me. Maddie's still wrapping up equipment from yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, round of applause for Matthew Wannick in the golf tournament yesterday. I take off my hat to you, Maddie. That was a fun day.
Done.
I cannot wait for next year's tournament.
I got to top it somehow.
We should try to somehow schedule it for a Friday. I mean, I know it's on me because of CFL, but like maybe next year.
Actually,
yeah, I'll say this: if next year I might just tell TSN like I'm out this weekend.
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
Canada Day's on a Tuesday next year. Oh.
Tourneys Monday. Lock it in.
Say that one again. I don't think anyone heard it.
Well, yeah. So Maddie said Canada Day is a Tuesday next year. So we do the classic the day before, and then everybody has Tuesday off.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be the best.
Somebody has to figure still free agent frenzy.
Well, you could do free agent frenzy.
Yeah, you can do free agent frenzy. Actually, we did free agent frenzy pretty good this year.
Yeah, no, I thought it went
like
well.
that.
The numbers are good on
Yeah.
it, and free agent frenzy, especially when the Oilers are dropping bombs on everybody.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. But Andrew, I like what you're thinking there with Jeff Jackson. It's important to have high expectations for him.
Yeah. GPK99 says typical Edmonton, middle of July, 32 degrees Celsius, and talking hockey. LOL. This show is called The Oil Stream.
Sweaty mess.
And a round of clicks for
Although I feel like
Maddie from Amish.
there might be air coming through there now.
I don't know. It's hot in here.
Maybe. It might be.
It's very hot
All
in
right,
the studio.
so if they're not going to bring in, like, I had this text message that just came in. And like I said, tune in, iHeart, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Please tell your friends. We think they'll enjoy the content as well. But you can text us at 780-218-9999. Kurt on a grader says, guys, they could ruin everything if they bring Bowman in. Like on a, I think
That's been ruled out, hasn't it?
officially ruled out?
I don't know about officially, but
See, you shoot hockey left.
there he is.
Have you ever tried golfing left?
No,
You should.
I hit with a bat.
He bats right-handed.
You don't swing like that with a bat, do you?
Ambidextrous, don't you shoot like with your left?
I shoot a basketball left-handed, but I'm right-handed.
How about Matthew
And I throw a
Warnick
football
has a
left-handed,
club?
but a baseball right-handed.
Maddie
How's
has
that feel, Zacticum?
Terrible.
It does?
Okay, so
Now, how does it feel the other way? Exactly.
too much fun. Too much fun.
I don't know, man. I think no, you can't go reverse grip left-handed.
Yeah, you got the right. Yeah, you can't do that.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Zacticum's still learning the game of golf.
He is.
I hope by the time he's 30, he's like a scratch golfer. We're
be
like,
amazing.
remember when you were a joke? Like, what happened to Zacticum? Actually, he got his tour card. He left. What? That's amazing. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, I wanted to get to the general manager discussion
Yeah.
because I've got their current hockey operations page
I'm
up
gonna
in front of me.
Pop it up too.
So let's go on their GM ability
Okay.
and like, could they do the job if required, and what would be required of said person in this job? Okay. By the way, Keith Gretzky looks great in his photo.
Yeah, he
they've done
does.
a great job on these photos. Keith Gretzky looks like he's 36 in this photo. All right, Jeff Jackson, CEO, hockey operations, alternate governor. Could definitely put the GM title on him. Right? If they
Sure.
wanted to, 100%, you could put the GM title on him. They won't. He's a CEO of hockey ops. Why would you also say he is GM? Like, he's going to be the CEO and make the decisions anyway. Paul Coffey, special advisor to owner and chairman / assistant coach, at least this year.
Yeah.
Not going to want that tag.
No.
Okay. Coffey's out.
Doesn't strike me as I don't think he's a wheeler and dealer. You know what I mean? I don't think he.
Like, you don't think he's on the phones being like,
No, I don't think he wants to play the game. I don't think he wants to deal with salaries and negotiations and stuff like that. He's kind of their ace. You know what I mean? Like, he's there. He's the guy. Information. This, that. What do you need? Here's what I'm hearing. He's like a liaison. So special advisor to owner and chairman, and he's a legend too. So funny guy. Also a very funny guy.
all right. Cross him off the list.
Yeah.
We've got Jackson as a possible, give him the handle. Paul Coffey, special advisor to owner, chairman / assistant coach / former organizational legend, out. Still there on that role.
Don't give him.
This is still sitting here. Bobby Nix, special advisor and alternate governor, hockey operations. Not going to be the GM.
I don't know how long Bobby Nix wants to stick around.
Probably time for Bobby Nix to
I think he's.
go golf.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Keith Gretzky, assistant general manager GM of the Bakersfield Condors.
Yes.
100% can handle a general manager role where you also have a president of hockey operations that can help you oversee
And you
everything.
work in tandem. Absolutely.
Put his name on the list.
Put him on the list. There
Put
you
his
go.
name on the list. Bill Scott, assistant general manager, all around good dude, as is Keith Gretzky.
Yep.
Salary cap and hockey operations.
Was also a GM of the Oklahoma City Barons.
So he's done what Gretzky's doing now. Now he handles the cap and hockey operations as well.
Yep.
Certainly can handle the business side
Yep.
of the general manager position.
Yep. I think
Put him on the list.
Yeah. Put him on the list. Absolutely. But I don't think he would be. I think.
How old is Bill? He can't be that
Bill's
old.
like 40.
He's got kids the same age as me.
Yeah.
So
he's between you and
yeah.
me.
Okay. So
I think he's early 40s.
I mean, that's a guy that you can look at and really sort of continue to mold and
Yeah.
and yeah.
And he's been in the game forever. Like, he was GM of the Barons at like 30.
This is the equivalent of me knowing that Marshall will be a host here somewhere on Edmonton Sports Talk one day.
Yeah.
Like that's what Bill Scott was
Yeah.
on the way up. You're
Yeah,
like,
his
he's gonna be
dad's
general manager one
an
day.
agent. He's been around for a long time. Bill, I think, was a manager on the Michigan State hockey team that had Ryan Miller. I believe they won the national championship that year, if I recall correctly. But yeah, Bill's been around it in a managerial role for so long, and then in this organization for 14 years now.
All right, another assistant general manager, Brad Holland,
Yeah.
director, professional scouting. So they've got 3 assistant general managers right now, in addition to Paul Coffey, who also chimes in on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Where does Brad Holland fit in and rank, in your opinion, among the Keith Gretzkys and the Bill Scotts?
Yeah. Well, I think he's third.
People speak highly of him, though. do
Yeah,
they?
I don't know him. I think I've maybe talked to him once. I don't really know much about Brad. I'm pretty sure he would want a GM position and would be interested in it. By all accounts, he's still within the organization. Obviously, he's on the website. So I wasn't sure. I thought he might be going with his dad, and that hasn't happened. And last week he was in the meetings and free agent frenzy and all that. But I would say just because of Bill and Keith being around for so long in managerial positions, that they probably would be ahead on the pecking order.
You would think if it's not that everything would be a seniority
No, good point.
situation, but
That's what I would assume is like,
they've got a bigger book of experience.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
hired as a scout in 2019, elevated to the assistant general manager of professional scouting in 22-23. So he's only been doing that for a couple of years. But had previously held hockey operation positions with both the Toronto Maple Leafs and the National Hockey League. Callie Larson, he's their senior director of player development. This was Jeff Jackson right?
yeah, he brought him in.
He was
and
brought
this
in with Jeff
recent.
Jackson. And Rick Tracy.
That's
a Jeff Jackson thing too, was it not?
I believe so,
Yeah.
because they moved Tyler Wright out, and Rick Tracy was announced like right after.
Yeah, that was like the first move.
And Tyler Wright was a Ken Holland guy. They were together in Detroit.
That seemed
Yep.
like an automatic. Like,
And that was one of our, I think we said it on this show, one of the first indicators that they were definitely going to start moving away from Kenny Holland after his contract was up. And it was by moving out Tyler Wright, because that was Kenny's guy. So I think that was an indicator, pretty strong one.
all right, so we're talking general manager here. We're talking about keeping it in-house as opposed to bring somebody else in, especially like if the last, what's today, July 10th, if the last 10 days had been a disaster and Henrique's gone and Janmark's gone, and yeah, they got Arvidsson, but they didn't get Skinner.
Right.
Like if the last 10 days had been a disaster, we'd be sitting here going, there's no chance you can elevate any of these guys to that current position. But this group of guys have been working together
Yep.
to absolutely knock an off season out of the park right now. So I just don't know how you can't find a candidate from within these guys that we just listed off.
And especially if it ends up being kind of like you're the day-to-day guy. You're the caretaker. Owanek uses the term caretaker. I think that's seems appropriate
Like,
in this situation.
The future of the organization does not not sit on your shoulders.
That's Jeff Jackson.
Yeah.
We're very aware of that now, understandably so. But the day-to-day nuances of being a GM that I'm assuming Jeff Jackson doesn't want to deal with. He wants to do the big stuff. One of these guys could handle it. You know what I mean?
I wonder how long. When do you think this happens?
Do they need to rush it?
No. I guess you could do it like before the season next year if you wanted. Or do they just continue to go with a CEO of hockey ops and 3 assistant general managers, all with strong responsibilities in their own areas?
I don't know. I would assume they'd want to get somebody in there, though. And they've talked about it openly. Jeff Jackson's talking about it. He's like, I want to talk to people at different organizations, and I have to wait, and I have to see, I have to take care of free agency, I have to take care of the draft. Then we'll look at it. Like,
it's a really weird thing that there's no real timeline on it. Like you just said, like they've taken care of a lot of business. Now, I do see K. Gill over there on the Nasty Chat saying, kind of need to sign Leon at some point.
But that's a Jeff Jackson
Well, that's
thing.
the thing. Like, that's not, there's no way, they can't sign Leon just because they don't have somebody in the GM spot.
Exactly.
Like, Jeff Jackson will be the guy who puts the final nail in the actual signing of the Leon Draisaitl contract.
Yes.
So it's this weird spot where you elevate one of these guys, they become GM.
Yep.
Maybe it's Bill Scott, and he uses his salary cap background and knowledge and that type of angle on it. And then you leave Keith Gretzky as the GM in Baco.
Yep.
And Brad Holland continues to do your professional scouting.
Could do that.
Maybe that's what they could end up doing. Here's another name a little bit further down the list. Bob Stauffer, host of Oilers Now and color analyst.
Top of the list.
Top of the list?
Top of the list. And I heard he's great with his keeper fantasy hockey team.
He does good in hockey pools, too.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't do what I did. 5 of 7 in the One Ring Cone.
He's not even in the Ron Ring Cone.
No, I mean, you got to hit certain levels to get the invite to the One Ring Cone Hockey League. All right, you can hit us up in the Nasty Chat. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. It is the Oil Stream. We are presented by Boston Pizza. Also brought to you in part by our partners over at Popeyes, where the boneless wings are now available at all Popeyes locations. They come in the same wonderful flavors of the regular bone-in wings. But the convenience here is that there's no bones in there at all, which is real nice.
I love how people call them nuggets, basically. And it's like, yeah, I guess you could call them that, but they're still wings, in my opinion. Delicious.
Tango says Leon might want to know who the GM is. It's fair enough, but the GM's not going to be the boss. Jeff Jackson runs the organization.
I think that's been pretty evident.
So why would a GM who's just going to ride shotgun to Jackson have that much of an impact on it, I think? I mean, unless it's a really, 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 really bad hire and you're like, what the hell is the organization doing? Mm-hmm. But the guidance has been so good, it appears, at least from Jackson so far, that why would you doubt any decision he makes?
Yeah. Truman says the president decides the direction, not the GM. And then...
That's what we mean.
Yeah.
Like,
and even though they don't have president as a title, CEO is a bit different. Like, we don't really see CEO of hockey operations.
Is there even another CEO of hockey operations anywhere in the league?
I don't know. Like, what's...
there's a bunch of pohos.
Gorton and Hughes in Montreal.
Yeah, what are their official titles?
I want to look that up.
Because that was an interesting dynamic of those two guys.
Again, like, it's evolving how they do... Oh. Okay, Kent Hughes is just straight up general manager. Jeff Gorton is executive vice president, hockey operations. He's EVP.
Not a CEO.
There's no POHO.
Chris says Leon talks to presidents. He's above GMs now at this stage in his career.
I would agree
Which
with
is
that
like kind of a
statement.
funny thing to say, but I 100% would back that.
Yeah.
Connor and Leon go to the top.
I think the owner, is my hunch, gets involved.
Oh,
in
of
these
course.
discussions.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, Connor and Leon aren't going to Bill Scott and being like, hey,
It's
can
time.
you fit me in under the cap? Like, that's not how that organization would work right now.
Correct.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Guys, I haven't heard the number missing from the golf tournament yet. I think everybody, I mean, missing as in like people that we'll never hear from again. Is that what he means? Or the winning number of the golf tournament. He says the message is, I haven't heard the number missing from the golf tournament yet.
That, like the winning score? Wasn't it like
I don't
minus
know.
like 18?
It was 17 under.
17, yeah.
It was 17 under. It was pretty impressive. There was somebody saying there, hey, I know you guys are talking about GMs, but what is happening with Coffee on the bench next year?
I don't think he wants to do it.
So this was, look, we're bringing in Knobloch. Let's just put a veteran voice on the bench.
Yeah.
See how it goes. And
Right
then
out the
Coffee
year.
goes back to living his own life, chiming in when he wants to chime in.
That's what it seems like. That's what I would assume is happening. Then this would also give Chris Knobloch the ability to bring in one of his own guys. Not that that coaching unit didn't work well together. I think they have, and that's a kudos and testament to Chris Knobloch's ability to work with those guys in what was a terrible situation at the time. But he would be able to bring in one of his guys. And I think the other thing, too, that this has shown is how good Mark Stewart can be.
Yeah.
That's a guy that kind of didn't get a lot of the love because people talked about what Paul Coffey.
He deserved a lot of the love.
He's the X's and O's guy.
Yeah.
Coffey was I'm going to talk up this kid, tell him to just play better.
Yeah.
Make him
Coming
play
from a
with
Hall
the
of
puck.
Famer.
Yeah.
Oh, a nice vote of confidence.
Yeah,
But
like nice pass.
Stewart's over there being like, actually go here.
Yeah.
Like,
He's drawing up the plays, how to kill, where they want the guys. So that worked out good, but I think I don't think Paul Coffey wants to be on there.
Tango has confirmed that he's wondering about the number of people that went missing out of the ranch yesterday.
Oh,
I think we accounted for everybody.
yeah.
I didn't see a few guys after at the dinner, but it was a busy dinner. But most people stayed.
Yeah.
It was pretty packed.
It was awesome. It was a good time.
Yeah. You're going to want to be a part of the tournament. I think it was I just can't believe that it went off without a hitch. Like Awanek is a golf tournament whisperer.
Yeah.
There was no issues.
No. It was awesome.
I mean,
It was awesome.
that was pretty
It
nice.
was so much fun.
That was pretty good. Somebody's asking, what are you wearing to the McDavid wedding?
I'm not invited.
What about the Waldo shirt? Where's Waldo's shirt?
Maybe
you
that's
wear that?
Yeah. No, that one's not going to be brought out for a while. I was mercilessly mocked the other day.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Put that one away for a bit.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, that one will keep.
So you went and picked up your clubs?
Yeah. Went back down to the ranch. Looked. It was beautiful there. Quieter, obviously.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Murray wasn't in.
You know, he walked the whole course yesterday
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
at a tournament. I know that, but like an attorney.
I know. With no hat. He has a tremendous tan right now.
How do you walk a course 33 degrees when everybody else is on carts and no hat?
Well done, Murray.
It's like in Back to the Future 3 when Seamus McFly was like, a man without a hat. What's up with that? I'll even give you a hat. That's what he says.
I really like, and what do you call himself? Clint Eastwood?
Yeah.
I really liked
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Back to the Future 3 was great. And I like how they were all like one started right after the other.
Yeah. It
2 and 3.
Yeah, I'd love to know the actual timeline. And I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. Got an autographed hoverboard and everything.
Really?
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
I got a full-sized hoverboard.
Wow.
And on the 2 hover parts, it's signed by Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd.
That is huge.
It's the biggest piece in my collection.
Yeah.
Like it's anyway, from start to finish, I wonder how much time would have taken in Marty McFly's life from the beginning of Back to the Future 1 to the end of Back to the Future 3. Somebody, I probably could look that
But
up.
didn't he come back on the deck and his girlfriend was having a nap?
Yeah,
or
it came
something?
back then. She was sleeping.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it all happened in he would have been in 1955 for almost a week, waiting for the lightning to strike.
Right.
So I think Back to the Future probably happened in less than 10 days of Marty McFly's life.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was really neat movies. Super neat movies. Really well done. I think for the most part they hold up today. as well.
Yeah, I think they do.
It's neat seeing some of the stuff that they predicted, kind of like The Simpsons has done in the past, but not to the extent The Simpsons has. But like, there's the hoverboard, right?
Okay, well, this circles back around then, because I'm going to bring. Go ahead.
Yeah, like 3D. You know the
3D Jaws coming
that's
out.
a thing now.
Food hydration.
Yeah, food hydration.
I mean, they blew up a full pizza, but
yeah,
a lot of voice activated stuff.
Yep.
In screens on TVs.
Yep.
That was the thing. No, but this kind of leads into what I was thinking for the next Edmonton Sports Talk draft. And we got to bang out a draft here.
Yes.
The draft of movie props. So you could draft like Indiana Jones whip,
Oh. A proton
hoverboard,
pack.
lightsaber. When Eric and I first talked about this, the first thing I said was Tommy's going to draft either Ecto-1 or a proton pack.
Proton pack, for
But
sure.
would that not be a fun draft?
That'd be pretty neat.
I think it'd be a really good draft, a deep draft.
We'd have to hammer out details on how
Like
to execute, obviously.
sports props.
Yeah.
You have to have 2 sports props. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but I think that would be a banger of a draft.
That's cool. I like that idea
Yeah.
very much.
I think that's probably the next one that we're going to lock in. Because I don't even, like, what would go, like, could the DeLorean count? Like, what about the phone booth in Bill and Ted's
Oh, right.
that helps you travel through time?
Right.
All you have to just dial a number. So,
pretty-
I know, but I think that's going to be, I think that's going to be our next draft. That'll be happening in July here.
Cool.
We just got to lock in a date when everybody's available, get the commission, and finally get back into drafting season, which we
It's
which
the
we love.
off season.
K Gill 97 says, "Did anyone like the Gladiator 2 trailer? The music choice. Ugh." I watched the Gladiator 2 trailer last night,
Yeah?
right before I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And good point on the music, K Gill, but the trailer itself actually looked pretty good.
I'm watching it right now.
It looked
So it's
It
young
looks-
Maximus or no?
no, it's the son
The son.
of his love interest. Remember the one who had the crush on him?
Yeah.
And it's that boy. He's grown up.
Oh.
And Denzel's in it.
Yes.
And the guy who's super hot right now.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro
Pedro's son.
Pascal's
Yeah.
in it. And it looks, you make a good point on the music because they had like some rap music mixed in, which didn't necessarily fit what the movie seemed like, but
No.
the trailer looked awesome. I thought the trailer looked really good. Raider Jesse says, that's a hell of a good draft idea. You need 3 weapons, 1 vehicle, 1 magic cap item, 2 pieces of clothing, 6 open spots. Like,
Whoa.
there's lots we could do with it. Let's just make that a thing. Movie prop draft, not TV shows, just movies.
Okay.
Movie prop draft.
Okay.
Some point in July, right here and only here on Edmonton Sports Talk. All right, buddy. Good show today.
Well done.
This might have been like we had some shows in Vegas where it was like, but this one just on the pure exhaustion from the sun yesterday.
Yes.
This might have been the biggest grind that we've had.
We got through
But
it.
we
and
got through it,
That
and
was
there's some
the middle
good
of the
GM
season.
talk.
Yeah.
Some good GM talk too.
Well
yeah,
done.
that was in the middle of the season. This is like in July, and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And but we managed to push through. So huge thanks to our partner over at Coolbet, the exclusive betting partner, obviously, here of Edmonton Sports Talk. The boneless wings now available at Popeyes. And of course, our presenting sponsor, Boston Pizza. When you next see us at a Boston Pizza, we will be on a patio. But we got to make sure it's like 25 degrees or less.
Uh-huh.
I think that's
I'm good with
probably the one that we're going to want to get our hands on there.
Yeah.
All right, for Tom Gazzola, I am Dustin Nielson. Nielsen Show replay coming up on TuneIn, on iHeart, on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. I have to go immediately to West Edmonton Mall.
I have to go drive Dave Pagnon to the airport. Yeah.
I just want to have a group nap here, you know? All right, see you later, everybody.